Hey, what's up everyone? So today we have, this is my son's Vulp, red and black, his favorite colorway in this model, as well as I hear Brandon Baker may really like this colorway. I can't say it's his favorite, but I hear he really likes the red and black Vulp. So I'm always hearing about FunChucks from Brandon and how fun they are. So I was kind of bummed that you can't really buy FunChucks. So what I did is I bought a red and black Vulp and then went over to Uncle Eldon's house, that's Eldon Tally, and we chopped off, he doing all the heavy lifting, due to my shop being closed right now as we're moving like I talked to you guys about, chopped off the blade, rounded it off, and we now have, it's hard to focus in on that little Nabalis logo, but we have our own version of a FunChuck. So I'll send the centerpiece out to get fully Teflon coated in 2025, trying to end the year strong with a couple little projects. So this is one of the ones that we really wanted to do, and it's pretty interesting. Going from this to this, it's not as slick as the FunChuck, the legit FunChuck that Brandon and the 6 other, well maybe 5 other people, because the owner of Squid has 2, right? And there's only 7 produced, so the other people probably, but for a DIY, a little quick home project, not luckily to have a 2x72 grinder at our disposal, pretty cool, fun little project, and not that hard to take on. So we're gonna hand these knives over to my son and let him flip them for a second and kind of get his honest opinion and feedback. But I think it's pretty interesting. I was really overthinking this. I thought originally I had to copy this piece here identically and grind it out here, when in reality I didn't have to, because we already have the features here for the Zen pins. So it worked out pretty cool, and then it was just a nice little round. So let's get these in his hands, see what he thinks, and kind of go from there. All right, so here's my son with the 2 Vulps, the Vulp and then the Vulp FunChuck, or Chuck maybe, play on words. I don't know, Vulpchuck? I don't know, we haven't figured this one out yet, so we'll see. We did notice, my son noticed, that the Chuck is a little more red than the one he's already had for about a year now. That could be due to like lotions and hand sanitizer and whatever else he's been using to keep his hands clean, and the amount of flipping that Vulp is, the one he's had, has had in his hands, or however you say that. So let's have Tanner check out the first one, the Vulp non-modded. So let's flip this and just talk about it for a second.
All right. So the Vulp, obviously created by Nabalis and Will Hirsch. Since I've had this for a year, have been really invested into flipping this. When I first got it, I just loved it. I couldn't stop flipping it. And I just really like it. The handles, how smooth they are, I actually really like. And the smoothness of the blade, because right here, I thought it'd be a little jagged, but it's not. And that's really nice. It's just so fun to do. My favorite trick is behind the 8 ball. I love doing that. It's so fun.
All right, so this has been a fun blade. It's gotten a lot of use, a trainer. So let's bust out the what do we call it?
The Chucklechucks?
The Chucklechucks. And let's check these out. I mean, you're already chuckling, right?
Yeah.
So this one's a little bit different, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so walk us through this.
So this is the Vulp with no blade, and it confuses me.
In a good way? You're laughing.
In a good way, because if it confused me, then it might feel weird or things like that. But it confuses me in a fun way, because it's like here, since it's not coated yet, Teflon coated, it's like I know that this was the the blade edge, and then this wasn't. But once this is gonna be coated and it's all gonna be black, I'm gonna be so confused.
All right, well let's stop focusing on where we trim this bad boy, and like let's flip it around a little bit, right? Like, is this a good chuckle toy? Are you enjoying this?
I am enjoying this. This is such a funny knife. Like, oh my gosh, it's hard to do.
Yeah, but I don't even know if it qualifies as a knife anymore. We cut the trainer off.
Yeah, because it's like, because without the blade tricks like behind the 8-ball, it's like hard to do. I'm scared to flip this over hard floor, but it's like, oh my gosh, it's like so weird because there's no blade. It's like you can't do chaplain, you can't do full twirl, you can't do so many different tricks. Like you could do helix, but like what would be the difference between helix and behind the 8-ball at that point?
Yeah. So it seems like you're talking all sorts of tricks that I don't even know yet.
Yeah.
Okay. So for your average DIYer here, as far as making a mod, what do you think? Is it a good fidget toy, or is this like a one and done thing for you?
This is a fun fidget toy just because it's like, I don't know, like if you were into battle songs already, I feel like it'd be fun, but just as a fidget, it's like so fun just to do this with because it's like it's always closed. It's just like, oh my gosh, this is so fun to do fast.
It's infinitely closed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've been watching Brandon post a lot of videos on the Will Hirsch channel and content on his social medias about the FunChucks. And I was like, man, being a maker and you being, having this love for ballet songs and us sharing it, I was like, dude, we got to do something. Like, we need a FunChuck. And I can't find anyone yet who's making them other than that first run of 7, right? That were sold at the Blade not West, Blade East, the main Blade show, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, dude, we got to take this on. So Nabalis had their Black Friday sale, and I was like, pulling the trigger. Yeah. And so I'm like, let's chop this thing up and figure it out. So it was a very quick project. It was a lot of fun, and I think your friends are gonna. And I'm putting words in your mouth, but I think when you give this to your friends who flip knives with you, I think they're going to get a good chuckle out of this too, yeah?
They will, 100%. It'll be like, oh my gosh, this is so weird. It's so funny. It's just like, it's just such a fun thing to do.
Okay, so on a scale of, I don't know, this is going to starting a new scale here. So let's score this on a scale of 1 to 10, mm-hmm. and let's do this for practicality. So 10 being the most practical, like you could turn this into a knife that would be like a self-defense, cook meals, a very practical thing, to like 1, this is just the most impractical thing you've ever thought of. Where do you think this would rank on practicality scores?
Either a 1 or a 2.
Okay, a 1 or a 2 on the practicality scores. Now on the chuckle score, 10 being hilarious and 1 being super serious. Mm-hmm. Where does this rank on the chuckle score?
10.
10 out of 10. So we got chuckles and we got silliness all in the same time. This is awesome, man. Well, thank you for flipping this for us and our friends and family on YouTube. I appreciate that. And it sounds like this one's going to make it into your case.
Yes, it will.
So something I know, Brandon was talking about, he takes, I believe it's the butter knife that you got to flip at Blade West. Yep. And he takes his FunChucks, or used to. I don't know if he still does. He'll correct us. And he'd let people flip them because of the reactions, right? Yeah. So I'm thinking this might be your opportunity. I'm leading my witness again, right? Yeah. This might be your opportunity to pull, a little magic 8-ball out of your pocket and be like, hey, try this. What do you think?
Yeah, that'd be so fun. Because if my friend comes over again, I'll just be like, here, try this. And he'll be like, what the crap? Yeah,
so we'll get your buddy over here. We'll let him flip it. And we'll bring this to some of the flipping parties we attend. So awesome, man. Thanks for your time. And thanks to everyone for checking this out. If you want a little more details on how I physically, we physically made this mod, feel free to let me know. It was pretty simple. If you have a 2x72 grinder, you're going to be able to knock it out. If you don't, hit me up. Maybe we can think of some creative ways to help you mod your own. And again, I'm sure you void all warranties, and Nabalis probably does not sponsor or endorse this by any shape of the imagination. So, all right. Thanks, everyone. Happy flip.